there is a fantastic opportunity out there. It's where I started. And you can go right to the top in doing your building work.
Some of it, it's difficult competition in a sense here, isn't it? Because some of it is about the life experience, Ian, that people feel that they're going to get from going to university. You know, that break from your parents, for example, you're finally moving on, you're making your way in life, where actually, if you're going to do an apprenticeship, there's a good chance you might be doing it in your local town or city or whatever it might be. You're probably still going to live with your parents, and life isn't going to change in the same way as it might if you were to go to university. Is that fair?
Well, it is the perception of it. Yes, it could be the perception of it, but it isn't. It isn't what in reality what can happen, because if you've got a trade, you can take that trade anywhere you like. You know, you've got to study. You know, for 3 or 4 years during your apprenticeship. Don't get me wrong. But after that, you can take that anywhere you want. And we have worked over the world. I've taken bricklayers up to Iceland, believe it or not, you know, because they've got a lack of tradesmen up there. You know, and some of my guys in the past have gone over to Australia and America to work. You know, what fantastic opportunities that they've had, not just earning potential, but they can take this skill anywhere. And it's not like, you know, I'm going to be battling it out with the, you know, the accountants and the IT people here. You know, if you've gone and to university and you're an accountant, you know, you can say, well, this is what I've done today. You can wave a bit of paper. But, you know, if you're a builder or a bricklayer, you can touch what you've done. It's tangible. You can see it, and you can be proud of what you've done.
Yeah, I know, and it's, you know, absolutely. It's a good point. But a final word from you, Anne. Look at this. I've got this figure here. The Institute of the Motoring Institute said recently 84% of its members can't get the recruits they need. If it's all about changing perception, how do you do it? You know, going into sixth form colleges or whatever it might be and giving a nice flashy display and having a few fancy adverts and stuff, that's only going to go so far, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely right. And I think we've got to realise that it's going to be a long haul. We've got to start right at primary school in educating our children in terms of the life choices that they have. We need to educate teachers and those that to influence them, like parents, that there is different options. And I think we need also to get some joined up government. As you touched on, the removal of the university caps, that almost flies in the face of the government's target to have 3 million new apprentices in this government.
It's about paying apprentices more as well, isn't it, in some circumstances?
I think it's a mixture. I mean, if you look at the point you made about the graduates and the lifestyle, actually from day one of being an apprentice, you actually have a job. Very many of them actually don't live with parents for too long because they're getting mortgages and their own homes and their own cars. So there's fantastic opportunities as an apprentice because from day one, age 16, you have a job. And as Ian says, there's nothing more rewarding than being able to touch and see what you've made and contributed to.
Absolutely. Did you get to Sao Paulo yourself?
I didn't, unfortunately, but the Semta team did get there and supported
What's the point in working for an organisation that sends people to Brazil if you can't go yourself, Anne?
Well, I thought it was important that the people that organise the competitions in the UK actually did get to go to Brazil and see the conclusion of their work.
Very diplomatic answer. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
That's Anne Watson. And thank you as well to Ian Hodgkinson there, MD of... thank you, Ian. Hodgkinson's builder in Derby. It was good to hear from him. And Anne Watson, Chief Executive of Semta. Right, it's 8 minutes to 12. Let's talk about e-cigarettes. It's got you going this morning. Plenty of your text to get to. And if you want to give us a bell on this one as well, 0500 909 693. Public Health England want to see e-cigarettes prescribed to smokers on the NHS, once they've been licensed by regulators, that is. In a review published today, the Government Health Agency say vaping is 95% less harmful than smoking tobacco. So far, far safer in this, the most comprehensive review so far, as they're calling it. 5 Live Breakfast spoke to Public Health England's Director of Health and Wellbeing. That's Professor Kevin Fenton this morning.
The reality is that more than 2.5 million smokers have already purchased their own e-cigarettes and are using them now. Some of them are using them to quit, some of them are using them to reduce harm. Having them licensed, having them safe and regulated means that smoking cessation services can add them to the toolkit that they can provide to smokers who are seeking them for help. What we want to do is to offer smokers a range of choices that can help them to quit smoking and to quit smoking for good. Remember, smoking costs the NHS £2 billion